finally get these fibroids under control, and I'm just super excited. I learned that I had fibroids a couple of years ago. I knew I always had some discomfort. I would pee a lot. Couldn't really do all the exercises like leg lifts, planks, I mean different things, because I had so much pressure in my abdomen, my back, constantly cold, just different symptoms that I didn't really know what they were coming from, but I found out a couple of years ago through an ultrasound that I had fibroids. And actually the ultrasound told me that I had about 7 fibroids at that time, a couple of years ago. And since then, I didn't do anything about it. I was just kind of thinking, okay, if I change the way I eat or do different things, maybe they'll either stop growing or shrink a little, because after some research, I saw that that was possible. But that didn't happen in my case, and I didn't stick to those diets. But I ended up having so much pain earlier this year and last year that I went and got another look at my fibroids. And of course the doctor was telling me that my only options were myomectomy and hysterectomy, and I just didn't want to do either of those, because number one, I don't have any children, so hysterectomy for me is out of the question. Myomectomy, unbeknownst to me, even though they can supposedly scoop out your fibroids, if they go in there and see that the masses are too large, or if there's too much bleeding or complications, they can make the call to actually take out your womb. So that was not an option for me. So after further review, I came across the embolization. And the embolization, what it is basically the doctors go make an incision in your wrist, just a small tiny hole, and pretty much put a catheter through your artery and down to your fibroids, and they inject some solution like silicone, but I don't know the actual medical term, but that's what was said to me as far as just the picture in your head. But they make the incision down to the arteries that are feeding your fibroids, because without the blood pumping and things like that, your fibroids can't survive. So they pretty much clog those up, and eventually over months and years, the fibroids pretty much shrink into little cysts, or just like little, I don't know, little imprints on your uterus, but they pretty much just go away. And there is no chance of fibroids growing back in those same locations, because the solution that they put in there to stop the growth, it stays there afterwards. So I learned about the embolization, and I was like, okay, this is definitely worth a shot. So when I made my appointment at Houston Fibroids, they instructed me to get an MRI. So I got the MRI, and even with my insurance coverage, the MRI cost me about almost $800. So it's not cheap. But that's, if you are thinking about this, that's probably a cost you might want to consider as well. But opposed to the ultrasound that told me I had about 7 fibroids, the MRI, which is a lot more in depth, actually informed us that I have about 23 or even more. So the MRI can see all the microscopic fibroids that you have that an ultrasound just cannot do. And with an ultrasound, that is what the doctors use in order to complete your myomectomy and your hysterectomy. And the thing about that is, with the myomectomy, they can go in and scoop out all the ones that were seen on the ultrasound, but there is no way they can get all those microscopic ones that will eventually also grow and cause the discomfort that you're currently having. Whereas with the embolization, all those vessels that are feeding every fibroid down there at this time, microscopic or not, all of those get clogged and die. And now the thing about that is, even though there's no chance of those exact fibroids growing again, if you're still still of childbearing age or premenopausal, there is a chance of you growing fibroids after the fact, but that just can't be controlled, you know. And those fibroids might not cause you any discomfort. It just depends. But either way, if you're having to choose between hysterectomy, myomectomy, and if you do some research on the embolization, if you don't know about that already, I do believe that the embolization, it sounds better to me for my situation, and also per the doctors, it is over 90% effective, whereas the myomectomy and hysterectomy, I'm sorry, the myomectomy is less effective. But let's see, what else do I want to say? But this morning I'm headed to get my embolization. My medication, I had about 6 medications to fill, 3 of which I had to start 2 days prior to this day. So I've been taking my medication, and as of last night at 11 o'clock p.m., you can't eat or drink anything. And this morning I had to take the 3 pills once more with minimal water. So you can't even have water, no coffee, no tea, just nothing. It's a complete fast other than you taking down your 3 pills. Now, I'm headed there now, and my appointment is in a couple of hours, but they do tell you to get there about 3 hours prior. I guess there's a lot of, I don't know what has happened, but I'll let you know once I found out. But, so it's about 10 o'clock or so, and I should be there by 11. My appointment is at 3. The appointment itself, the procedure itself, takes about 45 minutes to an hour. I think that is regardless of how many fibroids you have. I think just the procedure itself, that's the standard time frame, 45 minutes to an hour. And then you're under anesthesia, and so they hold you for a couple of hours after the procedure in order to just monitor you, make sure everything is okay. But it's pretty much an outpatient procedure. You shouldn't have to stay overnight or anything like that. From what the doctors told me, the worst side effects with this is major cramping after the initial numbing wears off, because they do pretty much give you like a shot to numb you at your uterus, to hold you for like the first 12 hours or so. But after that wears off, of course you have medication, but there is going to be some major discomfort because they have interrupted the flow of what's going on down there. So major cramping, and then also major fatigue. They said even walking to your kitchen like can drain you completely. Also constipation, nausea, but those things vary, of course, depending on the person. But after about 3 days to about 2 weeks, from what I'm told, you should be pretty okay. You're not supposed to go to work for about 2 weeks after this procedure, but we're in COVID days, and most people are working from home, or if not, then you're not supposed to be on your feet and do all of that for about 2 weeks. But after that, it's supposed to subside, and you're supposed to begin feeling the results about 60 to 90 days after. Now, I've watched some other YouTube videos, and some women say that they felt it like immediately, like they could just feel less pressure, the discomfort, and all of that. So maybe that's what's going to happen in my case, but I'm going to vlog that and let you know how it all goes for the next couple of months. But also, after the procedure, they do give you a follow-up call the next day, and I believe some places even give you another MRI within like 6 months. But I'm not sure if that's the case in my case, but I'm going to do a follow-up MRI for myself in about 6 months to see the difference, if the difference is seen. What else? Okay, and I also need to and also I'm going to insert 2 videos that I watched on YouTube that I thought were very informative. If you do need more information about fibroids and the actual embolization process, Dr. Hoffman, I believe is her name, she performs UFEs, and she has been performing UFEs for the past